Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mike Imbasciani. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I got a haircut. It is time. And don't forget, folks, we are broadcasting from the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker right here in Southwest Florida. And like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker. Give this office a call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. Now, Mr. Lovejoy is in the office, in his mood lighting office there. And with us for the very first time, you hear about him every episode, as you just did right now. It is the Brian Chapman in studio with us.
Well, thank you, Mike.
How are you, Brian? Good to see you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to come on your show.
I know we've been trying to make this happen for months, and finally here we are, just before episode 100. So thank you for coming. And Ken, how are you? In the very nice, in the the mood lighting is very nice, very nice.
Do you like the mood lit room?
Yes.
You know what the mood light? You want to see what's providing the mood light? Here, let me take the camera and show you what's providing the mood light.
Oh. Yes, of course.
The official
almost that holiday season.
We're getting into the holiday season earlier here.
Yes, perfect. And folks, thank you for joining us. We have a lot to talk about. And as today is September 27th, it is tomorrow, September 28th, that marks the 1-year anniversary from Hurricane Ian, which just devastated this area of Southwest Florida. And Brian, part of the reason why you haven't been able to come on the show was your house practically got destroyed, and you've been dealing over this past year of rebuilding that. So how is the year anniversary feel for you? And congrats, you're back in your house now. So I mean, how did the storm affect you?
It's funny. I would go, if I think back to last year at this time, it had a track that was heading to Tampa.
Yeah.
And, so it was kind of a shock, to see it turn and come into Fort Myers, Cape Coral with such a vengeance. And I had already decided I'm not going to board up. This thing's going north. Everything's fine. But everything wasn't fine.
No.
And, it was one of those days that I'll never forget. I'm glad I was there, but to have 3 feet of floodwater raise all around you and come into your house through every crevice and just be wading around in that is quite crazy. And it probably was about a 12-hour event overall, but it's turned into being a better than 12-month ordeal to try to get it all fixed. And we've had a lot of things to deal with regard to just the work, but paying for it, you pay twice for everything. That you're getting done that you normally would, and it's just you get on a list and you wait. But I'm thankful, I'm blessed, I'm glad to have had a lot of good help. And I'm sleeping back in a brand new bed. So, that's a good part.
That's a good part. I know. Well, so many.
Can't beat that.
You weren't technically even on the water, but you have the canals essentially that come where you are back there in the swampland, and sort of what happened in Northport as well, that just the Peace River backed up into Horse Creek and flooded Arcadia, and Fort Myers Beach got flooded, and that sent all the water in, and just all the flooding that happened where most people never expected it to happen, and that's what caused so much devastation. And even today, you still drive around Charlotte Harbor, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, you still see the blue tarps everywhere, which is sad to see, especially with the rainy season we've had, even the last couple days of all the rain we've had. And you hope that these people are able to get the the fix and support that they need to get back on track. And this hurricane season's still going on. But Ken, how are things
left? And the only thing we're looking at is Philippi, and it doesn't look like it's going to form into anything. So we're lucky.
That's good. Yes, very lucky. And so the big news that's happening is the second Republican debate is happening tonight. Now, we could have waited. Yes, Ken. We could have waited and done the episode tomorrow like we did for the last Republican debate. But really,
who cares,
it's just
really?
not worth talking about that much. Except now, I think it's important to talk about, Brian, what do you want to see come out of this second debate? What do you want to see from some of these people running for president against Donald J. Trump, who, of course, Trump will not be there?
Right. Well, I just think, you're having a debate series for second place, and that's pretty much it. And the electorate is out there, or particularly the ones who are going to be voting in Republican primaries, have already kind of figured out what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And there is not anything that the left-wing kooks and the mainstream media or all of these radical judges and DAs are able to do to slow down the Trump train. I mean, all it does is just gain more and more strength. If I was going to see anything come out of this, and I'll be honest with you, I did not really watch the last debate, and I have very little interest in watching this one. I did go back and watch some reruns of it, and I think some of those candidates have got some really good things to say, and little, sound bites here and there. I think, Haley did a few things that were good. I think that DeSantis did make some positive inroads. There was a lot of people that like him. And Tim Scott said a few things. I think we're past Mike Pence. And even though he's
we're way past Mike.
Okay, but I think we're past him. But all the rest of those guys, and the entrepreneurial Vivek, whatever. I mean, he's entertaining. Okay, but he is not presidential. And so the other ones have got true administrative experience and really could do something. But do I see it as anything other than I'd like to see it be the last debate, to be honest with you, on the Republican side. It's a waste of time.
It won't be, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
we
think
got another one coming up, November 8th?
Probably, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, November 8th, I think, is the next one coming up after this.
Yeah,
we're stuck with these. And again, to me, it's an utter waste of time at this point when you look at the polling numbers. I mean, the closest one you got, who was it? Harris X did an actual poll a decent poll. The one thing I've noticed on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, was the small polling numbers you'd see in those YouGov polls, 300, 400 people. Harris X has got a poll out, 3,015 registered voters. And again, commanding lead by Trump. It's not even close. And everybody says, DeSantis is at 14%. Well, what does that tell you? It tells you that 86% want somebody other than him. So, and Nikki Haley, again, if Nikki Haley, there's no difference. Again, there's zero difference between any of these candidates policy-wise on that stage. Zero difference. Vivek, and he doesn't have a shot because he's too new and there's too many questions about his past. He's the third. He's probably going to be the third place guy. But DeSantis, Nikki, Pence, all the rest of them, they're all war forever in Ukraine. They're all globalists. They're not America first. They're pretending to be, but they're not. And it's just not it's not happening. And to me, I don't even see, if I'm Trump, I'm not even considering any of these people for a cabinet position. So what are we doing here?
No, because they all hate him except for Vivek. Vivek's the only one who has given Trump the respect. But Trump posted this on his Truth Social today. Ben, picture number 21, please. It's really perfect. It's Trump is overshadowing all of them. And I love that picture. It's true. Trump is just overshadowing all of them.
Did you see that screenshot that CNN had of the GOP establishment? They're all messed up right now because they can't get rid of Trump either, and it says Trump is Godzilla and we are Tokyo.
Yeah.
And that's it. The establishment. Yeah.
Well, and speaking about polls, Ron DeSantis is trailing other Republican candidates in New Hampshire, according to a new poll.
Yeah, he's
The
in
latest
fourth place there, isn't he?
He's in fifth. He's in fifth
Fifth.
place. Fifth place in New Hampshire. The latest data from DeSantis's competitors gaining footing among voters in New Hampshire there. And this is a poll from CNN and the University of New Hampshire found DeSantis was in fifth place among likely voters in the Granite State there. Donald Trump continues to be the front runner with 39% of support statewide, and that's 48% support among registered Republicans. Roughly 13% of New Hampshire voters support Vivek, 12% goes to Nikki Haley, 11% goes to Chris Christie, and only 10% goes to DeSantis. So to me, that was an interesting poll. But what did we say was going to happen? We talked about this, and it's finally come out. On November 30th will be the debate of the person that the Democrat establishment wants in Gavin Newsom, and who the Republican establishment wants.
The two uniparty approved candidates. That's what they are.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, what do you think about this debate now between DeSantis and Newsom?
Well, I think it's interesting that they did it on the day after your birthday. I think they were thinking about that.
Yeah.
And so
present for Mike.
You're gonna, another Mike Imbasciani birthday bash type thing. But I think this. What do I think about this? Actually, I think it's a little bit just a showboat type thing.
Oh yeah.
And I think, as we were talking about it earlier, I've always liked Sean Hannity as an interviewer, and I think sometimes he's a little soft with Trump, but I don't think that he's the right guy to do it. But he's got more money, power, and fame that we're talking about than just about anybody.
Come on,
out
Brian. Let not your heart be troubled.
It just makes me. I think this is great, but
I need a football to throw. Where's my football? That I
don't know, but I think, were y'all able to see the Megyn Kelly interview of Trump? Did y'all check that?
Yeah,
out?
I saw part of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought that was very cordial. That was good. It was good to see him go back in the ring with her again after that last debacle in 2016 election. But
only Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh yeah. I love it. But but what do I think about this? I think it's just a staged event. I might like to see it because I do like the way DeSantis sometimes is able to kind of like get to the heart of the matter and bring people like him down. And
yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good. It'll be good in the sense of Newsom shouldn't stand a chance. I mean, when rumors of the debate between DeSantis and Newsom were first coming out, you saw all the Babylon Bee jokes of, governor of state everybody is leaving wants to debate governor of state everywhere people are moving to. It's a joke where DeSantis should be able to wipe the floor with Newsom, especially now.
Well, but DeSantis, say what you want. He's not a good debater. I don't think he's a very good debater. Everybody tried to paint him as the big winner of the last GOP debate, but I don't think he's that good. I mean, he's easily ruffled. You can get him looking like a deer in the headlights real easy. And Newsom, I don't think is any better. But the thing with Newsom is that he never seems to have really been challenged. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off. But again, I think it's going to be choreographed and scripted to the hilt. And I don't think it's meaningless. If DeSantis was polling at 30, or 40%, actually had a shot going into the primaries, then maybe more people would pay attention. But this is just going to be something to do if the writer's strike's still going.
It's theater. It's just theater.
It is theater. But I think that tonight's GOP debate will be interesting to see how DeSantis handles more pressure from everybody else. Because like I said from the last debate, what I noticed was DeSantis really did not get involved in any of the other fights that were going on. He answered the questions that were
He was
directed
waiting
at
for
him.
permission.
I know. But he answered the questions that were directed at him, and then he never really injected himself into any of the other conversations. So I think people like Nikki Haley and Chris Christie, and Pence and Christie were the ones going after Vivek, but I think now they'll twist that and go towards DeSantis.
What's Burgum doing there? I mean, Burgum is polling just as poorly as Asa Hutchinson is. But Burgum is at least spending his money, because I don't know if you noticed CCF, where Clay and Buck, Burgum's running some national ads during Clay and Buck. But nobody knows who the hell he is. I mean, nobody knows who Asa is, but Asa made such an ass out of himself in the last debate. Everybody knows who he is, and that's why he didn't qualify for this debate.
Exactly.
Thankfully, somebody didn't. That's good.
Yeah, I know. Well, and also going back to the DeSantis-Newsom debate, Newsom should also fail because California just signed, and Newsom just signed this law on Tuesday, making the state the first in the U.S. with a gun and ammunition tax. Beginning in July, coming up, an 11% tax will be placed on the sale of guns, gun parts, and ammo. I mean, it's already a pain to get a gun in California anyway. I'm sure the federal government
apparently not. Apparently not, because look at where most of the mass shootings in the last 2 years have happened.
And the gang crime and all the other
so
problems.
Again, it shows once again that gun laws don't work. I mean, if you look where all the problems are, all the problems with guns are in states and cities that have very strict gun laws. Are we having those issues here in Florida? No, we're not. So all Gavin loses on that end to DeSantis, because the laws don't work. You still have gun crime going on, and all they're doing is making the law-abiding citizen who wants to protect his family to be the outlaw. We're the ones they want to take the guns away from. They don't care that there's gun violence. The gun violence actually enhances their ability to push their narrative for more gun control. But right. We're the only ones that they want to control the guns on, not the criminals. So he should lose on that one. But again, look at half the nation is a bunch of freak shows who are all on board with what Gavin Newsom is.
I know. Well, but you see, you have to take the knives away from Britney Spears.
Did you see that dance? Did you see the dogs in the corner? Even the dogs were confused. They're like, "What the hell is mom doing?" She's
just dancing, with these knives all around, and her two little dogs come into the frame. Look at her, and we should not be here, and they just get out of there. But I was looking on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, today, just looking for some stories and just some stuff. And Brian was sitting here with me, and even Ben was on with me when I was looking through that. The amount of pure mental illness of people and things that are happening. And some of these women, no offense to women, some of these women are going nuts. Some lady chopped off her father of her children's head. Some other woman got sentenced to life in prison with no parole for cutting the guy's chop a dick off of me and killing him. It's like
home surgery.
What is going on?
Home transition surgery? Is that what her defense is going to be? He wanted
Lorena
to
Bobbitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and look at all those ways.
Society is just crumbling.
It's mass psychosis being induced via a collegiate curriculum. Apparently, did you see Charlie Kirk's little episode with all those girls out in Arizona? I mean, they to an individual, they all look like mentally ill freaks. They're pierced out to the hilt. Their hair's all different colors. That it's all cut in bobs. It's mental illness.
What are they called when there's one? It's a psycho. But what are they called when they're in a group like that? Is it just a cult, or do we have to give them a more colorful name?
Well, when we're talking about I think we should call it a gaggle.
A gaggle. There you go.
A gaggle.
It kind of goes along with the We are getting into October soon. So.
Yeah, they're all gonna come out and they're in their witch outfits.
Yeah.
Yes. Were those witch outfits, or what's that one? What's that show where the Handmaid's Tale?
Oh yeah, there
Where
you
they're
go.
all wearing the little red nun outfits. What the hell is that? What's
I don't
happened
know.
to women in America today?
What's happened to society, truly?
We're
Especially now,
circling the drain,
folks, we are, and folks, a couple episodes ago, we told you that a top magazine was hiring a Taylor Swift reporter solely to report on the Swifty business going on with Taylor Swift. Ha, see what I did there? Ayo. But now, as we have Chapman here, we should tell him we are looking for a Taylor Swift reporter because Taylor Swift was spotted leaving the Chiefs game with Travis Kelce. And now you might say, what does this have to do with anything? And you were right. However, the left loves to use people like this, people like Travis and people like Taylor Swift to
they want to use
continue
Taylor Swift.
their
Yeah.
agenda.
All her millions
Of
of
course.
Swifties. Hell yeah.
But I love this, and Derek Richards also shared this, but Travis Kelce was also just in a Pfizer commercial. And picture number 20, please. Either way, this dude is getting his heart broken, whether it's from the jab itself or when Taylor Swift dumps him and writes a song about him.
No, what is Taylor going to dump him, or is he going to dump her? Because it just,
I don't know.
Because the one thing I've taken, the big takeaway from all of Taylor Swift's albums is that she doesn't yet realize that the problem is her.
Right. I believe that was in one of her songs. It's like, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. That's the only part of the song I know because that's the only catchy part. And I haven't listened to the whole song, luckily.
That's very funny that that's the lyric that stuck with you, Mr. Imbasciani. What was your relationship with your mother?
Yeah. Oh, my relationship is very nice. I collect the eggs every day from the chicken coop as my nice chores for my mother. It's very nice. But as Laura Loomer tweeted out here, soon people will come to realize that Taylor Swift is being utilized by the DNC as a way to get Zoomers to the polls in 2024. And knowing that George Soros, Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, and Taylor Swift already have a history together, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. So when Travis Kelce is the new cool thing on the block, and now his jersey has jumped up to 5th most popular jersey sales, and he's gained like thousands of more followers since Taylor Swift has been seen at his game wearing his jersey.
Well, I hope he gets a couple of seasons before the myocarditis kicks in.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, what is his political persuasion? I don't know.
Well,
he willingly, openly got jabbed and is being paid to advertise it. So
yes,
I think you can rest assured it's
he was one of the original kneelers in 2017.
Was he really?
No,
Kaepernick.
Was he?
Oh,
no, there you go.
Mm-hmm. He was kneeling back then?
He was kneeling back then. Ben, see if you can find a picture of Kelce kneeling. I remember there was one.
That changes things. I think he's a great tight end, but his mind's not right.
No, and it's sad. And obviously now he's in these Pfizer commercials, and it's just he chose poorly, as some may say.
Well, Mr. Imbasciani,
who wants to get involved with
you didn't get jabbed. Did either of you guys get jabbed?
Nope.
Me neither. No, not. You know what? It's funny too. I got a family of 28. I've got with kids, spouses, and grandchildren, and not a single one of them took the jab. None of them.
Good.
How about that? I didn't say anything to them, but I think, we raise kids to know right from wrong, and they can figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And we have Mary Uter coming on the show next week, who she's the heart health expert, and it's been a while since she's been on the show. So I'm sure I know, so I'm sure she has some new data, especially with the things she has seen, and it's been coming out more and more and more about all the people that are having vaccine-related injuries, and it's sad to see. It's not something we want to happen, but everybody who didn't get it is happy they didn't get it. Bottom line.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's unhappy that they didn't get it.
No, exactly.
You can go get it now if you want. I'm not. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
probably what we're going to be looking at in the future is more and more, I think that the vaccine, probably you got enough people that it didn't have much of an impact on, but you got a lot of people that
Yes.
it did. And I think that, just discounting, all the social media platforms, the Democratic Party, the mainstream media just downplaying so much negativity surrounding the administration of vaccines and what it actually did and how devastating it's been to so many people. They downplay it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have a good indication of how broad the amount of problems are. I think that y'all talked a lot about
Because they're the ones guilty of foisting it on us.
What's that? Say that again.
I said they have to downplay it because they're the ones who are guilty of foisting it on us.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So they're trying to,
And Damar Hamlin is currently not playing for the Bills. So why is he still sidelined if he's supposedly okay?
Mm-hmm.
No, they paid him off and his family off to go along with it. Mm-hmm. Notice how they went out of their way to not even try to bro. We just don't know. It must have been that hard hit. But he's still not playing again. But yet they made a big deal about his return to the team.
Oh yeah. Of course. He's back with the team. He's just the water boy. So folks, we'll tell you something that you can get, and it's one of these awesome shirts. Now, Ben, please throw up picture number 8. Dave Landau, who was recently in town, I gave him one of these, and he was seen
You're going to ride
it.
this one, aren't you?
I am. I love it. He was seen wearing it on Normal World. We applaud. That's great. So you too can wear a shirt like this. When we go into battle, we play music really loud. And also, you can get loud locally. Use the link in the description and help support a small business as well. It's Petra Armstrong, comedian Mike Armstrong's wife, that will be making these shirts and sending them out. So use that QR code or use the link down below in the description. Go pick up a Freedom Cow, Get Loud Locally shirt. Get a JFK, if not us who, if not now when shirt. We will splinter the CIA into a million pieces and scatter into the wind, and many other fantastic shirts, including the mugshot shirts. Picture 1 and 2, Ben, please. The mugshot heard round the world, and of course, war. Because folks,
gotta love that.
That's
one.
What we're in. Yes. So get yourself
Should
a
have
mugshot
had a hashtag
shirt.
in front of that.
That's okay. And folks, get loud locally. It's what it's all about, and be a conversation starter. Enjoy this video from this past weekend, and throw up the picture of all the upcoming gigs as well. I forget what number it is in the thing. Number 18, Ben, please. These are the upcoming gigs. Simply Clapton and Mike Imbasciani and his Blues Rockers. Check us out this weekend if you're in the Southwest Florida area. MikeImbasciani.com for the full show schedule, and check out this video from this past Saturday over at the Naughty Parrot Tiki Hut in Marina Town. Enjoy. you go. Little Kenny Wayne Shepherd for you.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. And yes, as you saw, between Saturday and today, the hair is lopped off. But before we get into our Patriot and Trader, one thing I mentioned before we started the show was, do you feel, and Ken, I'll pose this question to you, and then Brian, you can answer as well. Do you feel like coming into this debate, I haven't really been hearing that much about any of the candidates going into this debate? The talk about it has been like little to non-existent.
Yeah, the most I've been hearing, you hear some stuff about Nikki, but yeah, it's all about Trump. It's sad. What I hate, what I dislike most about Clay and Buck is the fact that they spend way too much time. You almost think it's a psyop to where they're trying to just wear you down to being sick of hearing about Trump because they're talking too damn much about it, throwing around all these just outlandish hypotheticals and, what if, and well, but at the end of the conversation, they always come down with, he's the one kicking everybody's ass right now. Nobody's, Vivek comes up a little bit. He's the only one that seems a little bit different than the rest of them. He's the true Trump supporter. So why vote for you when we got Trump running? So I think he's more or less aiming for 28, which is smart if he can maintain his policy positions that he has now. Because like we've discussed it before, he's just too new. He's saying a lot of good stuff, but he's too new. We don't know how consistent he is. And there's still a lot of his stuff from his past that does, the Soros, the World Economic Forum stuff. It looks a little sketchy. He's come up with responses for it instead of just letting it hang there, which is nice. But again, too new. And the rest of them, no way in hell. I mean, just no way in hell. It ain't happening. It's not happening for Tiny D. It's definitely not happening for White Lizzo, who's being paid just to be an antagonizer for Trump. So I really don't know. I think I think Trump is going to again outperform whatever the viewership is for the debates tonight. I think he's going to outperform that. Now this is going to be on what? Fox Business, Fox News Channel. Fox Business. Is Rumble going to be doing this again?
I'm sure Rumble will have an avenue to view it. Just like, like, what is it? Right.
Because I know that they live streamed the last debate, and I just didn't know if they were going to do this one.
I don't know. Brian, what do you think about there really hasn't been much talk about it going into this debate?
Even though I have been sort of an advocate for, as all the stuff has come up that Trump's been dealing with, I've been an advocate for just maybe looking at something different. There's not a president in my life that I've respected more than Donald Trump. And there's not anything that he did other than raising the debt. I don't like raising debt. But some of it didn't have anything to do about it. The post-pandemic stuff, that was all the new world out there. I don't think he would ever go back to doing what he did before.
Yeah.
Again, I think he learns from his mistakes. But I don't, I've been open to other suggestions, but quite frankly, he's the best president I've ever had. And I mean, in my 68 years of living, and he's without question, the policies that he has promoted, are the most pro-Christian, pro-American, pro-life, you can do it to anybody. And I don't know anybody that has done that, and I don't know anyone who's sacrificed as much as he has to get to where he's at. And you gotta look at somebody like that and say, man, that's a patriot right there. And everything that the left does to try to bring him down, none of it works. And just to point out polling, and like Ken was talking about, that Fox News poll or whatever, that Washington Post poll this week that showed Trump leading Biden 52-42 should say an awful lot. Today on the news, I mean, the Hispanics going for Trump 50 50, and that's moving. That's a moving
Well, and
percentage.
Trump now is also allegedly above the line of fraud that could happen.
Well, yeah. Well,
Which
I don't put anything
never
past.
say never. Never
Never
say
say
never.
never.
The Democrats
what
will
goes
say,
on-
"Hold my Chardonnay."
Exactly.
Like what goes on in Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Detroit, and Atlanta, you got to watch those 4
And that's
areas.
why people have to get out and vote.
Well, I know that enough people have to get out and vote, but in the right areas, they got to get out and vote. And we all know this election boils down to about half a dozen states. And, it's like, that's just what it is. But as far as the debates, honestly, the Republican side of things, I would like to see them end. I think it's a waste of time. And has anybody emerged as anything out of them? No. I think there's less excitement about this one than there was about the last one.
Yep.
But I
to
think
the point
also,
where Fox Business is actually cutting the cost of advertisers to advertise for it. So they have no advertisers. Nobody is interested. Nobody cares.
if they were going to really make use of the 90 minutes or 2 hours or however long it is, they ought to boil it down to 4 candidates. The rest of them don't matter at all.
Exactly. And Tim Scott takes too long to speak.
I agree. I agree.
We got to jump.
If you're polling 1%, I don't care how many donors you got or how much money you've raised. If you're at 2%, sorry,
nobody cares.
I mean, no, you've got no business running. You've got no business being on the stage, and that speaks to all of them except for really there should only be 3 people up there right now. You've got Tiny D, Nikki, and Vivek. Those are the only reasonably viable candidates left. The rest are just taking up space on the screen. Yeah. Actually, I think all of them are just taking up space on the screen.
Well, yeah. And then you can understand why Trump would want to go to debate that instead of
why? It benefits him not to go to this debate, not until it's weeded down to just the two or three. November 8th, I think you might see him going to that debate if they've got it whittled down. But if you've got another 7, if White Lizzo, old Krispy Kreme, there's no reason this guy doesn't stand a chance. The only reason he does is because he's polling so well in New England. Why?
I know. The funniest thing, we got to jump to our Patriot Trader, but the funniest thing is that Newsom is going to be in the audience for this debate tonight, and he's at the behest of the Biden administration. And I believe he's going to be offering the rebuttal or whatever. But it would be hilarious.
What is this? Rebuttal to
I know.
what?
It would be hilarious if Trump still is not at the November 8th debate, but he actually is in the audience and he just stands up and yells out something like but
tweeting.
We got to go to our
truthing stuff from the third row.
Yeah. All right, our Patriot and Trader of the week. Brian, who is your Patriot of the week?
Well, my Patriot of the week is the senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy. I just love the way that guy just kind of like sits there like a dumb little country bumpkin, but he just brings out the hypocrisy and just cuts and dices in a nice way to the core the climate terrorists that I was watching just this morning. I mean, he just tears them up without being mean. And I mean, you know what? I think he does that better than anybody.
Yep. I agree.
Homespun Southern common sense.
Yes. Ken, who is your Patriot of the week?
Got to go with Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
He's been doing a job this week of holding, of calling out the uniform McCarthy. This whole, I mean, come on. How many times do they think we're going to keep buying into the whole emotional rhetoric of a government shutdown? Shut it down. We don't care. We don't need you. We won't notice you being shut down. Go away. But so I love Matt Gaetz for what he's doing. I hope he sticks to it. I hope this isn't just something to do because he's doing a good job. And I can't stand Matt. I can't stand McCarthy.
Yeah.
So
I know. Hey, motion to vacate, motion to vacate. Do it, do it, do it. My Patriot of the week goes out to Rumble. I'm going to give it out to Rumble because Rumble is
I would too, yeah.
proving that free speech can stand. And even though they're getting attacked and they're losing advertisers, it's the advertisers that now deserve a boycott because they do not stand for free speech. And Rumble released a statement and said, now is the moment to support creators and support free speech. And they said Rumble has been under relentless attack from governments and the mainstream media on various fronts. What they fail to understand is that every attack only emboldens our community and makes us stronger. Rumble was built for pressure and built for these types of moments. Our infrastructure, our ad system, and most importantly, our staff has never been more prepared and ready for whatever comes at us. Many have asked how to support Rumble. The answer is simple. It's our creators who bring us the truth. It's our creators that make Rumble strong. It's our creators who need your support. We are making an open call to all creators to reach out to their Rumble/locals rep and enable the support free speech hashtag support free speech promo code to give your viewers 1 month free of locals community. So we should do that. Now we already have the promo code Freedom Cow that you can use to join our locals community. And after that, it's just $5 a month. And it's how you support shows like this when constantly I've been trying to put up some shorts on YouTube, and depending on the title, it will get throttled and you see 0 views when I know that you are out there trying to see this. Now, yes, we are on YouTube. I don't know for how long, especially after the discussion of the vaccine today. This episode might not be on YouTube. So, yes, subscribe on YouTube, but also subscribe on Rumble because it's places like Rumble that are getting better and better and better. And they prove that they can stand up against the juggernaut that is Google and YouTube and Meta and all of this nonsense. And it
try
takes support
Gab.
from people like you.
Gab, Rumble. There's other alternatives to just because you've been conditioned to Facebook and Instagram. I mean, it was really easy for me to walk away. And
well, especially considering you were banned permanently.
See how easy it was?
It's very easy to walk away. So, folks,
it's very easy.
That's is somebody like Rumble offering that support to its creators and standing up, in this case, for Russell Brand, who is innocent until proven guilty, and is wrong when the British government is sending letters out to every mainstream outlet and to Rumble saying, "Hey,
you need to demonetize Mr. Brand because if you don't, you possibly risk arrest if you ever come to Britain."
Yes. Well, we left Britain once. We can do it again. And that will bring us to our traitor of the week. Exactly. Brian, who is your traitor of the week?
You know, after looking at all the videotape of Mitch McConnell's freezes and stuff like that, I think it's some type, he's my traitor, and I'll tell you why. He needs to step down. I don't mind if he stays on as a senator. I mean, after all, the Democrats got Fetterman over there. But I don't mind if he stays on, but he should not be the leader, not in his current mental condition. And I believe that for Republican leadership to allow him to stay and at the same time criticizes Joe Biden is the height of hypocrisy.
Oh, I know. Yeah, picture number 9, Ben, please. I love this. I save this for every week. It's the dementia ward. It's all of them, all pointing in different directions. And what's so ironic is it is Fetterman saying that Menendez needs to resign. I mean, if that's not irony, I don't know what is. But yeah, McConnell, he doesn't, we need him in the Senate right now, I suppose. So, but he just needs to leave his leadership position. And it'll just go.
They've already got John Thune waiting in the wings to take his place. Just give it to him now.
Exactly. Ken, who is your traitor of the week?
This little freak show right here, Ben. If you could show the picture of Mr. Alex Gino. Alex Gino is the author of books that have been banned in a lot of schools, and because they're very sexualized, transgender books that offer a lot of sexual scenarios. And he's
Yeah.
very, very disappointed that parents have rights. He's
Yeah, what a
very,
shock.
very disappointed that parents have rights. Yes.
Well, yeah, there's a traitor, and there's the person you don't really ever want to look at ever again. My traitor.
Ben, put that picture up again. Put it up. Put it up, Ben. You're never going to get that out of your head. You close your eyes tonight. That's what you're going to see.
I know. Look at those eyes. Just anyway. My traitor of the week, and he was never a patriot to begin with, but goes out to it really is the trifecta. It goes out to Trudeau, it goes out to Zelensky, and it goes out to the who is he? He's the Speaker of the House there, in the Canadian Speaker of the House, Anthony Rota. But Ben, start with picture number 14. Picture number 14, please. This man right here is former Nazi soldier Yaroslav Hunka, who was honored in Canada's parliament. I know, that looks awfully familiar. As House Speaker Anthony Rota recognized Hunka as a Canadian-Ukrainian war hero. So shame on Trudeau, shame on Zelensky, but they don't care. And of course, the Babylon Bee had the perfect thing. Picture number 13, Ben, please. Trudeau attempts to distract from the Nazi controversy by growing cool new mustache. And picture number 15 as well, Ben, please. This one is just clown world, because you start off at there are no Nazis in Ukraine, and then okay, there might be some, but not a lot, and then okay, yeah, there's a lot of Nazis, but it's okay because they're fighting on our side. And then finally, wig and all, and you put the little honk nose, and just because someone was in the Waffen SS doesn't mean they're bad. And from all of this,
who vetted this guy? Who was the one? Who was the? Because the speaker resigned, so obviously his office had something to do with it. But
so throughout all this,
again,
the Canadian
who vetted
House
this
Speaker,
guy that he's a Canadian what?
Right. Well, because
that didn't even exist in World War II.
There's the Babylon Bee one. Yes, we love it. But yes, the Canadian House Speaker Anthony Rota has resigned. But what does Trudeau do? He doubles down and says, obviously, it's extremely upsetting that this happened. The Speaker acknowledged his mistake and has apologized. This is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada and by extension to all Canadians. So he's just allowing Anthony to fall on the sword.
Yeah, well, at least Anthony.
Shame.
Hell, a Democrat would have done this here and wouldn't have resigned.
Oh, exactly.
What do you mean resign? It was a mistake. I know. Can't we just move on? I've already apologized.
Hey, exactly. We got to wrap it up.
But Brian, it needs to be pointed out: there are Nazis in Ukraine. Your tax dollars are funding them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paying their salaries so they can go and fight a war that we are 100% involved in, and it's sad, and people are needlessly dying. And as Trump said, we just want people to stop dying. Yes. Brian, anything you'd like to add at the end here?
No, just thank you very much for letting me be a part of this incredible trio. And I like every one of your versions of this that I've been watching. All of them have touched me in some way or another, and I'm just glad to be a small part.
Well, I appreciate it. And we appreciate your support. And there you go, folks. Yes, we appreciate you so much. And you heard it here, folks. First, the Liberty Concert Series is going to be coming back. Brian Chapman is going to be involved in that too. There will be more details, but come January 2024, the Liberty Concert Series is coming back. Ken, always a pleasure. Brian, thank you for joining us. Folks, make sure you subscribe, YouTube, Rumble. Go follow us on Twitter. Go join the locals community. And from the bunker, good night. Enjoy the debate.
You're watching Conservative Television of America, working hard to stick socialism where the sun don't shine.